Hello everyone. So this is a special YouTube only video because we crossed 100 subscribers, and with this video I'm giving away a free Better Sheets membership. How do we pick out the person who's going to get it? They're going to be one of the first 100 subscribers. Thank you so much all of the people who have subscribed to the newsletter who are getting a message about this. They came through and were the last 4 people overnight in the last 24 hours to subscribe. Now, how are we going to pick the subscriber that is going to get the free Better Sheets membership? We're going to use a Google Sheet. We're going to use a random number generator. I'm going to get an actual number because we're going to figure out that this is some interesting stuff that happens with rand. So we're going to use equals RAND, and this is a random number. It is a 9-digit number. It's between 0 and 1. And the issue is that every single time you edit the sheet, so I can just do this, it will change this number. So anytime I edit a cell, it is going to change the random number. But we don't want to change the random number. We just want 1. We want to pick it once. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to Command-C, copy, and then paste values, but the paste values is 0.17. How do I figure out which of the 0 to 100 subscribers are actually going to get the free one? So how do we convert this into a number that is usable? Well, first off, we want to do some multiplication, right? So we want to do, let's say, we want to get 100, so let's do times 100. So now we have 95. Now we can do something like simple, like round up or round down. This will be round up. And now we have 99. And now every time that we edit the page, it's going to change, right? So the moment I change it and just do Command-C and Command-V, Shift Command-V or copy or paste values, I'm going to get the actual number, right? I'm going to get the number. Here, let's do this right here. If I grab that, that's 51. But let's see. I'm going to Command-Z. It's already a random number. We can also do some other things. We can do round down. That's the same thing. And it's just giving us a totally random number every time we edit the page. So you might be thinking, though, why do we need to have this rand? Why do we need to have random numbers in a Google Sheet when we're sort of like maybe tracking sales or tracking numbers that we know already? We're putting numbers in here and then analyzing them, crunching them, wrangling them. Why do we need a random number? A few reasons are, if I use random numbers a lot when I'm forecasting, when I just need a set of numbers random, I will just pick the order of magnitude that I want, format it correctly. Let's see. Let's do number, take away the periods, and then I can have a bunch of random numbers and actually even change them into money. And now I have a bunch of random 4-digit numbers that pretty helpful to do some forecasting, or not forecasting, but sort of some data modeling with. If I didn't have the data already, we can actually make ourselves super rich, right? Oh my God, millions of dollars here. But they're totally random numbers, and it helps you design a good sheet that you might know sort of the numbers that you're working with, but you don't know the exact numbers, or you know the type of numbers. So a random number will actually help us here without having to. A lot of times we're gonna like do a bunch of zeros, and that doesn't really work there. Or like we'll just add one. We'll type in the numbers, right? But this random numbers allows us to do some really, really cool stuff, like we can figure out the average, right? Equal of average. And we know, can see it in different ways. The other interesting reason we use rand, or we can use not just this large numbers, but like let's say out of 100, is say we are doing a business model and we don't just need numbers, but we actually need, let's see, percentage, okay? We want to get a percentage here, and we want it to be random. Let's actually not round. Let's round. Let's actually not round. That's interesting. Let's just get rid of the percentage, the points, but we still have a percentage, right? We can bound it a little bit by doing, again, some math, like this is always going to be divided by 5, I guess, and get some like small number, right? And we can use this in business models to figure out churn. If we don't know the exact churn, right? We don't know the exact growth rate. We don't know, but we know, okay, we're going to get around 10 to 20% growth rate or 0 to 20% growth rate. We might even get a churn upwards of 50%, but like it's going to remain in a certain area or range. We can use a random number to go through a bunch of different options here and give us, churn for 24 months without us having to type it and say, oh, we have 5% churn for every single month for 24 months. Because that doesn't actually happen, right? It's more like we get a random number across a certain amount of variables. So now what's interesting is I actually copied and pasted all of the subscribers that have a public profile. I have their names here in the first 100 subscribers. There's a couple of issues, though. Obviously, I didn't get everyone because not everybody has a public name on YouTube. And so I ended up only having 34. I will do this giveaway when I hit 200, I guess. I think maybe every 100 for a couple of them. I'll give away a membership to Spreadsheets. And if you... this isn't what I'm about to do is interesting. Is I'm gonna use random instead of just picking the number. In addition to picking a number, I'm also gonna do an index. So I have the list here, and I know they're all in column A. So I'm gonna do index, and I'm gonna use references. First, we gotta do this. First 100 subscribers. Summation point A to A. And then we're going to use row. The row is going to be rand times 100, columns 1. So what happened is, and why it says 1 subscriber, is because I copied and pasted it from YouTube, but I got 100 lines, but there's like a bunch of interesting like other data in there, so it's like really, really messy. So I'm going to keep editing cells until there's a name. This is probably, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So we might get a name at some point here. Literally it's random. Okay, we got our first one. There it is, the winner. Okay, Joshua Myers. I'm gonna copy and paste this and see who would have come up after him. Okay, if anyone comes up after him, we'll call it. So I'll message him on YouTube, and if you are Joshua Myers and you haven't messaged me, then message me on the channel Better Sheets, and you've won a membership to Better Sheets. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now to YouTube, and if you're within the first 200 subscribers, I'll do this again, and one of you will win a membership to Better Sheets. And hopefully you also learned a little use case of the rand function. Have a great one and enjoy. Bye.